know the audio works. So. Welcome, Busch Bonanza fans, to the Tri County Speedway. We will be doing 2 heat races before our feature. Heat races of 100 laps each, and then a 200 lap feature. Top 15 from each heat transfer to the main. Can be very important here. For example, Mike Carroll is right on the edge of being mathematically eliminated. And the field rolls off. We got Ron Stout on the pole for this first heat race. Notable names in here. We're keeping an eye on Diggs, Mersdorf, and Carroll. They all need to make it through. If any of them fail to, it could be very big for the points. The pace car pulls in. And the green flag flies. Field piles off into 1 and 2. Mersdorf trying to get the edge on the outside on Stout. Weston tries to dive in there, nearly runs up the back of him. Mersdorf's going to get clear and take the lead. And we have a caution on the speedway incident on the front stretch, numerous vehicles involved. Looks like most of the back half of the field we were watching the front, and somebody went around in the middle of the field. I have a weird hunch it might have started here. Yes, it did. Started here with Spark, McComas, and Mogart. It looks like Stapleton involved too. Stapleton's going to get hooked on Spark here. Turns Mogart around. He goes into the wall. Spark around. McComas around. Oh, heavy contact for Tony Gunk into the front of the 15 car. We'll have to see what that damage is. Oh, and the 57 got him there at the end. Whoops, that's not the right button. I forgot that we are using a replay today. Whoopsie-daisy. Alright, so let's see, a lot of smoke from that incident. And we'll have to see whose cars have made it through unscathed. Gunk in the pits, Mogart in the pits, work being done on both of those cars. They did have a heavy hit. Auspicious start to heat number 1. And Mogart and Gunk are going to go down a lap, which basically eliminates them. We'll see if the crews even bother to get the cars back out there. There is a chance that with additional carnage they could try to come back around the field, but seems unlikely. Running order under the first caution: Mersdorf, Stout, Weston, Diggs, Torgerson, Carroll, Tonto, Armstrong, Fresh, Stephen Davis, Stephen Lowe, Hawkins, Womack, York, and Farrell currently in transfer spots. Alright, lights out on the pace car. We're going to get ready for a restart. The 15 and the 59 have not resumed. That could be quite devastating for them. Points will be awarded to spots 31 through 43 based on the fastest heat. Those guys, if this is not the fast heat, will not get any points. Pace car comes in, and green again. Mersdorf taking an early advantage here. Guys that get comfortably off the front of this field may just be working to see what their cars are going to do in the feature later today. Stout kind of misses the groove there. Car got a little loose on turn in. That's going to let Weston try to get to his inside. Can Rod do anything? Doesn't look like it. Diggs hunting on Rod here. We'll go up to the chopper shot because I thought I was on TV too. But we'll sit on this camera for a moment. Get kind of an idea of the tight confines of this speedway. Very, very tight confines around here. And caution on the speedway. Looks like Tonto's been involved in an incident. We're going to run it back. There was contact down the front. They got 3 wide. Armstrong, Carroll, and Tonto. Carroll's in the wall. And it took a while for that to get finished off. Ooh! Just missed hitting him there. And a little more contact on the very tail end of it will put us under caution for the second time. So under the second caution as we run, still Mersdorf our leader, then Stout, Weston, Diggs, Torgerson, Armstrong, Stephen Lowe, Mike Carroll lost some spots in the brouhaha, Dwight York, Stephen Davis, Fresh, Womack, Hawkins, Farrell, and Rains, the current transfer positions. Lights out on the pace car, we're going to cue them up to go again. No cars running a lap down. Gunk and Mogard done for the day. And that could have points implications for the top 20 if I'm remembering the point standings correctly. Let's refresh my memory. Yep, Tony Gunk was sitting 21st in points. This sort of result is not going to help him advance into the points. Jared Mogard, where was he? He was 15th in points. This will probably hurt him. And we are green again. Field fans out a bit. Battling for positions back here in the middle of the top 10. Lowe hunting for grip on the high side, but not finding it. Ooh, Torgerson out of shape there. Stephen Davis trying to advance his way forward in the field. None of these guys exactly sitting on the bubble here, running right around 10th spot, but not too far from that transfer spot. Not a horrendously comfortable position, but not on the hot seat like those behind him, as we see Diggs working his way forward in the field, going for second. There were a number of teams that really needed to see this car falter in the heat and miss out on any points today to even stay in the championship. Does not look likely a quarter of the way into the heat. I do believe if he makes the feature, I think that will mathematically eliminate Mike Carroll. This 40 car looks awful strong. As he has been most of the season, there is a reason that this team is leading the points. They're going to need to see him falter if they want much of a chance to get him here going into the last couple of weeks of the season. After today, we will have Pikes Peak and Homestead left. almost no chance that the 40 team doesn't score points at one of those unless they have a failure on the grid. They will have provisional to get them into those races, so they will be guaranteed at least some points. Points gap coming into this weekend was just shy of 120 between Diggs in second place, who I believe was Mersdorf, but it might be Tommy Davis. It is Tommy Davis. Mersdorf is much further back. Mersdorf may actually be mathematically eliminated by the end of this weekend as well. So the lap's ticking away, and we're watching this 40 car just close and close and close. I'll be honest, as a completely impartial commentator that just wants to see a close championship battle, I was hoping the 40 car was going to struggle or have some sort of issue today. Because failing to make this race and dropping 100 some odd points is going to bring everybody back into the championship, but that is looking unlikely as they run. We're seeing the gap really open up between these guys and everybody else. They're closing on the back of the field. Give us an idea of how the traffic is sparked across the field. We'll go to a static camera in turn one. It's only going to be a little bit of a gap here between Isaac and the leader. Keep in mind there are 2 cars already out of this race, and there will be more cars in the feature. I always like these static shots of just watching cars go by. I almost wish I could get like a screensaver of this, or if I could find a... Probably could find like a YouTube video where somebody's sat a camera on a wall at an actual race like this, and maybe gotten it to loop for hours and hours and hours. Or, ooh, a video I've always wanted, maybe even just for the audio, but infield at Daytona during the Rolex. Just something sitting on the wall in the infield with nice audio quality and cars going by. Particularly one that starts like just before sunset. So cars are going a lap down now. We're watching Isaac and Grant get caught by the leaders here to get put a lap down, and that has let this lead battle get very intense. Grant has barely made any shows the past 2 seasons. I cannot imagine that the team is going to continue much longer. That sponsor basically has stopped paying unless they actually get some TV time, so at least this heat race is helping them a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see that car next season. If we see anything that looks like that car, will not be with this team and driver. Because I'll be honest, it's not a half bad paint scheme, but we just don't get to see much of it. Reached sort of the point of the season where there's a lot of discussion about who's coming back and who's not. And there have been some very disappointing drives this season, and then some very impressive ones. It's 54 and 40. New drivers this series, very impressive. Same with the 78. We've had a whole bunch of rookies come in and shake up the order. Traffic is kind of playing a factor, but not as badly as we've seen in past races where the leader catches traffic and just gets destroyed by it. But, ooh, 40 up the hill here. Maybe he's hunting. Maybe he's found something. Spike in the way here of Mersdorf, trying to figure out how to get around this car. Laps winding down. Ooh, he gives a little bump there. Pushes the Geico machine out of the way. That's another car that's a good-looking big sponsor, but we don't see much of. We'll be curious to see if the sponsor leaves, the team leaves, or what. Spike has just not made very many shows on that machine. And the top 2 get through him. Big gap to the guys behind him. So these guys, as long as they don't wipe each other out, are just seeing what their cars have got to figure out what they need to work on for the future. I would almost speculate, though, that if I was Diggs, that maybe I don't go up here and show everything I got. Maybe I just ride, drop back a little bit, figure out what I got without showing it to that 54 car. But a young, inexperienced driver like this, telling him to pull back on the reins, that it doesn't matter. Nah, he wants that checkered flag, even if it is just a heat race. And we're seeing that the bottom gets a little bound up, and if you're actually a faster car, maybe the high side's going to work as Mersdorf tries the rim ride. Mersdorf making ground there. It's maybe not the easiest pass, but I think he might get it done here. Now, drew a little more even that lap. And now he's got it. He got a good run there off of 4 and clears the lap car. So you're going to try the same move on the next one. Laps are winding down. Diggs has not gotten around stump from the 9. Guess have another look here at trying to take this lead. It'll be 25 to go at the line. Mersdorf could see inside of the 93. Another car that we don't see a lot this season. Patterson done alright this season to make shows, but Maybe not making as many shows as the big name sponsor would suggest as they go by him. And we have a caution. Caution on the speedway. Report of fluid coming off of a car. They're not sure which one. And Merstorf's trying to figure out, am I supposed to be ahead of this pace car or no? I think we're supposed to be behind it. He's checking up. So it'll be inside 20 to go when we get the restart. Running order: Merstorf, Diggs, Stout, Weston, Armstrong, York, Carroll, Stephen Lowe, Stephen Davis. Troy Torgerson's going to pit, so that changes the running order. That's a gamble. It's a big gamble. There are 21 cars in the lead lap, and he's going to pit from a transfer spot for fresh tires. Now that they've cycled through, we'll try running order. Now that the pit stop has been accomplished, still Merstorf, Diggs, Stout, Weston, Armstrong, York, Carroll, Stephen Lowe, Stephen Davis, Fresh, Hawkins, Farrell, Stapleton, McComas, and Rains, the top 15. Those are the current drivers in transfer spots. I don't have to watch all the pace laps, do I? It'll only be like another couple. They are trying to figure out where that fluid was coming from. That's still a little bit being reported out on the track. Might have been off of Torgerson, that might have been why he was in, but I didn't see him lift the hood. So it'll be 20 to go here at the line. And we are doubling up for the restart. Be our first double file restart of the day. This eliminates all the gaps that people had built, so stress is back on here for these guys. And pace cars in. Green, green, green. Leader gets clear, second place gonna get clear. But we're gonna actually come back here and look at battles near the transfer spot, because this is where it's going to get interesting. A little bit of contact here in the mid-pack. Lap car's kind of clogging up the works here. Stapleton going backwards. 3 wide back there. Contact there. Mike is fading back here, but still within the top 10. is getting frantic in this part of the field here, though. This is closer to the transfer spot, and we're still going 3 wide. Leaning on each other here. Leaning into the wall, fresh into the wall, gets turned by Growth, who was a lap down, cautions out. 13 bent up on both ends now. I think she came down the track and hit Reigns here and bounced herself up the track. Yep, she's leaning on Reigns, up the track into the wall. Can't really blame Isaac for that. Can't blame him at all. Caution, caution, caution. Torreson's gamble here, not paying off, but this might help. So this is almost certainly going to be the last restart. There will not be enough laps after this to do it all over again. Current running order: Mersdorf, Diggs, Stout, Armstrong, Weston, York, Carroll, Stephen Lowe, Hawkins, Reigns. That's not right. There's no way Bev's in it. What? That yellow must have come out before she went around. So Bev's still in the top 15. Then McComas, Stephen Davis, Farrell, and DeCourcy has worked his way into it. And Mike Carroll has just blown a motor under caution. I think we figured out where that fluid was coming from. If they can't find an easy fix on this, and he's gone by the pit lane, is he going to try to limp, hoping this race doesn't go green? That'd be a strategy, but I don't think the officials will take too kindly. If this car is done for the day, that is going to be the end of his championship hunt. Granted, it looked like it was going to end anyway, because it looks like the 40 will be transferring to the feature. And Mike heading for the pits. This crew's had some very bright moments this season, but some very big disappointments. It looks like this will be another one of them. Pulls in. It's over. It's over. Mike Carroll out of the championship, out of the heat. Pace car is going to come in as a single file restart, and we are green, green, green. Not sure where I want to be watching in this field. We've got a battle for the lead, but this really doesn't matter unless it comes to tears. Now we should be watching the transfer spot. Look at this battle. They are fighting hard for the transfer spot. DeCourcy, little contact into the wall goes DeCourcy. They're fighting hard for this last spot into the feature. Stapleton trying to make it happen. Stapleton sitting on the bubble. Fighting with Inkman to try to advance himself one spot forward so he's not on the bubble. Torgerson behind with fresh tires trying to make something happen. There's just too many cars in front of him. 2 laps to go. Inkman trying to pull clear of Stapleton. Get himself off of this bubble. Spark fading back. I don't think he's got anything. White flag in the air. DeCourcy trying to charge back. There's going to be a checkered flag here at the line. Checkered flag. Diggs is going to take the win. And Stapleton's going to hold on to it. Transferring through. Diggs, Mersdorf, Stout, Armstrong, Weston, York, Stephen Lowe, Hawkins, Rains, McComas, Fresh, Stephen Davis, Inkman, Farrell, and Stapleton all transfer from heat number 1. Coming up next, heat number 2. Alright, heat number 2, ready to go. Same rules as the first 100 laps. Top 15 will be transferring to the feature. This 78 doesn't transfer. I think that could hand the championship right over to Diggs, but we'll see what happens here. Struggling a little bit to form up here. There we go. We got it sorted out just in time. Pace cars in. Green, green, green. Should have made note of the average speed of that last heat. But I don't think it'll... I don't know. We'll have to see which heat is faster. If this one has less yellow and more green, that'll tend it in that direction. I note these heats are smaller fields by a car or two than what the feature will be. So there will be more traffic in the feature than in the heats. Contact back there. Everybody kept it going. Oh, we got one spinning. One spinning. Caution, caution, caution. Ramaswamy in the wall. Whoop, he didn't know he's 3 wide, and into the wall he goes. Heavy contact for the 37. Ben White got pinched into that. That'll be our first caution of heat number 2. And the advantage of using a replay, we're already ready to go. Green again. Running order. Tommy Davis, Sphere, Drake, Fitzmaurice, Vatcher, Painter, Cheeseman, Brian Lowe, Moorhead, Sheldrick, Jackson, Phillips, Charles White, Hill, and Polson. The top 15 as the 8 sits in the pits receiving some emergency repairs. Is he going to get going here in time? I don't think he is. Oh, he's rolling off now. Pace car comes in. Green, green, green. Van Buren is merging onto the track on the backstretch. I think he's going to be just in front of the leader. So now Van Buren's going to need a caution to save him here, otherwise he's going to end up going a lap down. Battle for the lead. Here comes Sphere. Sphere really working on him here. They're both closing in on Van Buren. Sphere, I think, has he got it? Nope, hasn't finished the pass yet. That outside has good momentum off of 4, doesn't it? Finally gets the job done. Right back, here comes Davis trying to take the lead back. Biggest battle is letting Van Buren just sort of sit here right in front of them, but they are still closing on the back of that Van Buren Capital machine. Trying to see if they can do anything with him. And now Sphere trying for the lead again. A lot more even battle than we saw in the first heat, where we got whole top 5, almost top 6 right under a blanket here. Davis still holding on to it. Now Voucher coming forward, working on Sphere. This car's been just kind of quietly at the top 20 of points all season, huh? They're just struggling to find a way around Van Buren. battle for second continues to rage. Top three are starting to break away, though. They still can't get around Van Buren. He is just begging for a caution. I think he's throwing all the padding off of them roll bars out the window. Here comes Vatcher looking for the lead. Vatcher fighting hard for this. Vatcher has the lead now. Let's see if he can hold on to it. This bodes well for what we might see later in the feature, though. Some good racing here at the front of this one. Through the top 15 here. On the first heat we had enough caution that we got to keep doing it, but as they run right now, it is Tommy Davis, Vatcher, Sphere, Drake, Fitzmaurice, Painter, Cheeseman, Moorhead, Phillips, Polson, Brian Lowe, Sheldrick, Hill, Ronaldo Scott, and Kevin Corbett, our top 15 runners. Let's see if we can go look at the transfer spot battle. Kevin in a battle here with Beresford. It's a good battle here for 15th. Like the high side just gets the run around off the corner, and Kevin just can't get the power down to clear him. At least Beresford being ahead at the line most laps. Beresford's going to clear him now. leader's still all over this 8 car. They just can't get around him. This is very much looking like this will be the quick heat, though. Davis goes to the outside of Van Buren. I think we might finally see this 8 car get past. Hasn't quite cleared him, but it's really working on it. Got him now. Van Buren finally loses a lap. Let's see if Davis checks out here. I have a hunch he might. Davis is checked out here. All it took was getting around that 8 car. He is sailing away from him here. Field's gotten pretty spread. Let's get an idea of that field spread. A few big gaps, but cars just about covering the whole racetrack at the moment. Biggest gap is probably either this one or the one from the lead group to the second group. Yeah, and definitely from the back of the field to the leader is the biggest gap at the moment, but even that's not a very big gap out here on track. 20 to go. Van Buren's continuing to check some of these guys up. Is closing on the back of the field, but Nobody else is getting around Van Buren. These battles right around the transfer spots seem to come and go. You tend to go with the line next time around for them all. Laps winding away very quickly here. Kevin needs to do something. He's sitting here just outside. They're getting dicey ahead of him, but it's really not bringing him back to him. Yeah, they're settling down here. I don't know that Kevin's going to get an opportunity here. And Jackson's closing on him. 2 laps to go. Now Kevin goes high. Jackson's going to stick the car to the inside there. Kevin's going to get clear. White flag in the air this time around. I don't think we're going to see any changes here in the transfer spot. Last lap. Just doesn't look like Kevin's going to be close enough here to make a move on the 66. Checkered flags in the air. Nope, that's all she wrote. Kevin won't make it. No changes in the transfer spot on the last lap. Transferring through Tommy Davis, Vatcher, Sphere, Drake, Painter, Fitzmaurice, Polson, Cheeseman, Moorhead, Phillips, Sheldrick, Brian Lowe, Scott, Beresford, and Hill. Who's ready for a feature race? I will need to get up and get something to drink before I move on to that part of our program. Program? No, that's not the right word. Program. Let's not pronounce it that way.
Drivers, to your cars. Drivers, start your engines.
And there's the command to start engines. 200 laps around this speedway. And the field rolls off. We got Vatcher on the pole. Alongside of Mersdorf, then we have Hill and Sphere, Drake and Diggs, Cheeseman and Armstrong, Moorhead and Davis, McComas and Weston, Stapleton and Fresh, Stephen Lowe and Hawkins, York and Polson, Brian Lowe and Phillips, York and Sheldrick, Fitzmaurice and Beresford, Inkman and Painter, Scott and Farrell to round out the field. Pace car gonna peel away. Here we go, 200 laps of action. We are green. Mersdorf trying to do what he did in the heat and get the lead on the first lap from the high side. And he will lead the first lap. Shoot, I just realized something's wrong. There's 2 cars missing from the field. None of this happened. Nobody saw anything. Nobody saw anything. None of that happened. That was an alternate reality where I'm an idiot and forgot to fix the car count.
Drivers, to your cars.
That will completely change our qualifying order. Let's go. All right.
Drivers, to your cars. Drivers.
All right, engines are fired for real this time. Full field. Now it's going to be Sphere and Lowe, Davis, Drake, Hawkins, and Stephen Davis, Fresh and Vatcher, Stout and Mersdorf, Armstrong and Inkman, Rains and Diggs, Farrell and Hill, Polson and Brian Lowe, Phillips and Moorhead, Beresford and Weston, York and Sheldrick, Cheeseman and McComas, Scott and Stapleton, and on the final row we have Painter and Fitzmaurice. Pace cars in, and we are green. That looks better. That looks like the right number of cars. And Davis has a problem going to the pits already. That's going to have major championship implications. Report of an oil leak, and we have a caution. That might save them if they can get that car going again. McComas and Phillips have been in the wall. Oh, we had a multi-car incident on the front stretch. They got a little too eager. Phillips, yeah, there's just not room for this. Into the wall he goes. Trying to get it collected, and there's McComas to give him another whack. Well, the 78 is moving on track again, and the field is coming on in. 78 did lose a lap, though. It's a splash and go. The field's going to be all sorts of crazy here, because they didn't really get formed up. Alright, so Davis has lost a lap early on here, and it's unclear if they've been able to repair that car adequately or not. We may actually be seeing the championship evaporate here. Because he was 117 points behind Diggs. He needed to gain points today, not lose them. Alright, lights out on the pace car. We're going to get ready for a restart. If they've got that 78 car fixed, he actually might stand a chance of getting back up around the leader and maybe getting his lap back if another yellow were to come out. Green, green, green. Davis hanging with him here, but he did not get the good jump on the start, and Sheldrick's been in with an unscheduled stop. So at least there'll be some points for Davis to pick up here immediately. And Phillips also with a stop. And a caution on the speedway. Sheldrick's been in the wall, and Davis won't get the spot back to loop around here. Sheldrick had just merged in front of the field. That related here. Oh, he's gonna get hooked hard into the wall. Oh, hit hard at the end there by the 13. That was a bigger incident we've seen all day here with these guys. Let's see, where did the 5 end up? So he's gonna come up here. Hawkins clobbers him, but he keeps going. The 66 goes around. And Bev just piled on into that. Let's see what her onboard looks like here. Let's see a car go left. She's trying to check up, but really couldn't get it slowed up. And Sheldrick continues to sit in the pits. So we are under caution. And Bev has lost the lap. And Larry Sheldrick done for the day. First car retired from the feature. Davis really could have stood to get a lap back there. So down a lap are Phillips down 2, Fresh down 1, Raines down 1, Davis down 1. Lights out on the pace car. Gonna get queued up for another restart. So running orders here: Drake, Stephen Lowe, Stephen Davis, Ron Stout, JT Armstrong, Steve Ankman, Hawkins, Vatcher, and Farrell, the top 10. Pace car peels in, and the green flag flies once again. Bev gave a door there, and Rain's coming in. Bev gave a door to the 5. I don't think she's happy with that driver. Rains is rejoining the fray. Sphere's going to go around Davis now. Davis may just need to settle in for a long run and pick up all the traffic he can. You're struggling to actually make this pass stick. And the 33 restart violation, he didn't pit, so Painter's been DQ'd. Oh, the 22's a lap down. I'm an idiot. So Davis is on the lead lap if a yellow were to come out. some reason I was thinking that 22 was the leader, and that, yeah, so Davis just needs a yellow now. Diggs slowly working his way up through this field. Davis needing to catch a break, but hasn't got one yet. 13 off the pace and coming back towards the leaders here. It's going to be traffic all day, it looks like. Bev just nearly got wiped out. Bev just parked herself in front of Davis here. And Davis is going to turn her around. Yellow's going to be out. He's not going to be ahead of the leader now. Come on, bud. That was badly calculated. Badly miscalculated. If you're going to do that, you got to stay ahead of the leader. Caution's out. Bev's been spun around. And the pits are open. And we have guys coming in that really shouldn't be. And just about the whole field is in here. Down and away. We'll see what the running order looks like when it cycles through here, because I'm not actually sure. I think there might have been a strategy call that happened there. Nope, that car was a lap down. Alright, so Sphere leads. Then we've got Drake, Stephen Davis, Stephen Lowe, Mersdorf, Diggs, Weston, Inkman, Fitzmaurice, and Vatcher, the top 10. doubling up for the restart. And we are green, green, green. And they're really wild here in front of the leader. 3 wide. Leader getting to the middle of it. Contact. They're crashing to the front of the field. The leader's in it. This could be the whole field. This could be the whole field. They checked up real good at the back. The yellow is out. Wow, that was surprisingly small, but sphere with a ton of damage. That car got pinballed around in the middle of the pack. And he's just driven. Yep, Stephen Davis just drove into the back of Brian Phillips there for no real apparent reason. They're having trouble getting the field sorted out here. A lot of damaged race cars after that. So Stephen Davis is actually the leader after that. And now the pit lane is open. Or is it? Maybe not. May have been open, maybe we didn't get any takers. Alright, so let's see what happened here. So we're 3 wide. This is just not gonna work. They bounce off each other and up into the wall. Big whack. And somehow everybody behind him managed to stay out of it. And I'm really not sure how they did that. The 5 and the 119, though, have called it a day. Tommy Davis somehow lost a second lap. Was he 2 down the whole time? I just didn't realize it. Maybe he was. It's entirely possible, actually. We'll have to see if Sphere's car is going to be competitive anymore. Alright, doubling up for the restart. Stephen Davis leads now. Pace car is in, and we are green again. We're going to find out real quick if Sphere's still got a good horse underneath him here. Looks like that car is damaged, but not out of it. And caution, caution on the speedway. We're still crashing. What is going on? We're losing our minds, folks. I think the yellow was already out here. Yeah, I think we had multiple simultaneous incidents from the look of it. Oh, this looks like a crash happening. Yep, there it is. Thatcher around, takes Inkman up into the wall heavily with him. And while that's going on, Stapleton gets turned around and hit quite heavily. Was that a separate incident, or was that a related? Either trying to avoid, oh, he gets tagged trying to avoid the incident. Gets hit pretty hard here. And decides that he needs to get to the pits, but Barron's right here. Just, yeah, Barron's going to push him and push him and push him and push him. He's just trying to get to the pits, Barron. And he finally did get to the pits. So we are under caution yet again. Another multi-car pileup. And we are green again. Stephen Davis continues to lead. Trying to make the most of what he can here. Oh, Tommy really got in there. He's trying to get one of his laps back the hard way. Trying really hard to get a lap back the hard way. Thought we were about to see an incident there with Scott Drake as Steve Inkman's in the pits with a flat tire. And caution on the speedway. Is Tommy going to get a lap here? He did it. He got one of his laps back. Now he needs to actually go around the field and keep it. And it looks like he actually will. Alright, what has brought out this latest caution? Oh! Into the wall goes Bev, because we got into the corner like a bunch of morons. I think the 23 had some contact, yeah, contact with the 23 down the front stretch, and that's going to send him to the inside. They got 3 wide. They were lucky not to get spun right here. They think we're all good, we're all good, we're all good, but the 23 just sends it on in here and puts Bev into the wall quite heavily. Alright, caution again. Tommy Davis did get one of his laps back and all that, though. Running order: Stephen Davis, Gino Sphere, Scott Drake, Stephen Lowe, Joe Mersdorf, Rod Weston, Jim Fitzmaurice, Diggs in the 8th spot, Hill and York the top 10, as we limp our way towards a conclusion. Clearly has a problem here, but I don't know what it is. I think he may be in that weird fuel leak thing where he's pitting every lap. Alright, doubling up for the restart. So Tommy Davis is going to probably need a little bit of work here to get into a situation to try to get this other lap back, but he's got one. I don't see any reason he couldn't get the other. Pace car peels off. Green, green, green. So Sphere gets clear of reins. He's going to try to set off here. So Sphere is all over him here, trying to figure out a way around. He's got a little bit of breathing room. Lap cars between he and the next car. Aikman's just going in and out of the pits, isn't he? The car's got some sort of leak that they're trying to work on. Waiting for the lap that's 57. Tries to merge in the middle of the field and gets wiped out. Here comes Sphere looking for the lead. Oh, they've caught Ronaldo Scott here. And that's going to let Sphere really take the lead here. So even with all that damage, Sphere's got a pretty good car. Quickly approaching halfway. We're starting to get a green flag run. Stapleton now is proven to be the next roadblock in the chain here. We're seeing the 54 work his way up to the field. He's up to third now. Contact. Stephen Davis going into the wall. Up across the track. Caution out. And the 86 on his lid. We're still crashing. The 78's in it now, too. How did the 78 get in that crash? He was miles behind it. Oh, there was a separate incident involving the 40. Ooh, Bev was up on two wheels. I don't know that Tommy's going to have a ton of damage from that, to be honest. 86 went over. I think he climbed the wall here when he finally reached it. Yeah, we got three wide, and they just come together. Oh, heavy contact. Into the wall heavily for them, yeah. We just had two simultaneous incidents occur there that came together at the end of the straightaway. And the 40 might be losing a lap here if he pits. You should not pit here, bud. A lot of cars pitting here that probably shouldn't be. Contact in the pits. Here comes the pace car by. More contact in the pits. Well, we're going to see how that works out. So let's see how this shakes out the field, because I think this has put a bunch of cars a lap down. Or practically a lap down. Yeah, it's done some weird things there. Sphere is the leader. And we are past halfway now. Alright, we're gonna get doubled up. Cars are being lined up in some odd places here. Green, green, green. Oh, that 13 is slow. They're going to put the 13 three wide here. Still three wide. Still three. Still three. Okay. Oh 13 car is beat to bits. Contact, 13's around, the 1's in it, and we're going to be under yellow again. It's going to get Diggs back around the field. Is Davis going to get around Sphere? No. That's what Diggs needed, though. So, running order, just past halfway. Sphere, Mersdorf, Weston, Fitzmaurice, Drake, Stephen Lowe, Diggs, and Hill are all the lead lap cars. We have Hawkins and Farrell down a lap. Stephen Davis was involved in an incident, and did he pursue? Well, 23's done for the day. Now Stephen Davis lost the lap, but is still, whoops, still running. As Baron McComas is in the pits for some work. And pulls away. Alright, doubling up for another restart. Pace car gonna peel away. Here we go. Green, green, green. Dave's trying to make something happen here, but it's not working. Mersdorf on the outside trying to get around him and make a charge for the lead. Coma's coming out of the pits here. And we got a crash. Farrell's in the wall. McComa's merged right in front of him. Davis isn't going to get a lap back here. Let's see what happened here. I think, well, no, the merging I don't think had anything to do with this. Farrell just tries to clear himself up the track and he ain't clear. And gets slammed up into the wall. Ooh, contact for Fitzmaurice with Hill. We'll add insult to injury. So we got 5 cars out of the race and 1 pitting every lap, so Inkman's 20 some odd laps down. A lot of beat up race cars on track at this point. Jeez, man, look at that thing. That thing's smashed all to hell. Alright, field is doubled up for the restart. Tommy Davis once again will be hoping for a good start here. Green, green, green. Not a good start for Tommy on that one either. And we got another caution on the speedway, and Tommy's not gotten ahead of this car, so he's not going to get a lap out of this one either. I wonder if Gene got spun. Gene did get spun. Yeah, this looks like it'll work. Managed to get spun and not hit anything. That's a first for this race. We gotta get this 13 car to the back of the queue. Briggs is slowly working his way up the running order, now running 5th. When he got stuck a lap down there for a brief moment, there was some thought that maybe he was going to lose some points today, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to place one hand on the trophy here today. Alright, doubling up for the restart. Pace car's in, and we're green again. Good start for Sphere that time. Gets clear right away, and so does Weston. Ooh, just about. I think he got clear there down the back. Leaning on each other here down the back stretch. Here comes Davis now. He's going to start hunting. Sphere trying to make some space here on track for himself. He's still 2 laps down. I thought he got around the field once. Just keeps losing laps up there somewhere. So Sphere looking a little comfortable now. Got a decently quick lap car between he and anybody else. And some clean track ahead of him. It's quite likely of the championship contender, Sphere's the only one that's going to make any dent in the points, but I don't know that it'll be enough. I think he's going to end up mathematically eliminated. See traffic starting to loom ahead. Weston's starting to fade out of the picture. Actually, I suppose Mersdorf is making points here too, isn't it? Just not a lot. Let's see if he can do anything to capitalize here. Trying to cut their way through this traffic as quick as they can. Inside 50 to go. The only ones staying with Sphere at the moment are the 78 and the 54, and I'm wondering if the 54 could do something if he could get around the lap 78 machine. Sphere looking to make it 5 wins on the season. Mersdorf only 1 win on the season, but is further up in points. But both these guys are so far out of it that I think they're going to end up mathematically eliminated, with Diggs getting a 5th place finish at the moment. Mersdorf fading back now from the 78. Sphere just waiting for the laps to click away. And hoping he doesn't find too heavy of traffic out here. I think he'd ideally like to see this thing stay green to the end. A yellow flag would not really be all that useful to him. And a caution. Caution is out. Motor Hill's going around. Well, that'll pack them all up again. Hill's going to get together with Stephen Davis. I mean, I don't know that Stephen really moved there. And Hill crunches into the wall. Oh, Nate gets a piece of him. So we are under caution once again. Does anybody come into the pits here that was in contention? Still getting the field sorted out here. So running order. Under caution here, coming to 25 to go. Sphere, Mersdorf, Weston, Diggs, Stephen Lowe, Scott Drake, Fitzmaurice, Hill, Vatcher, and York are the top 10. Diggs just slowly creeping up through the field. Lights out on the pace car. We're going to get him queued up for a restart. Pace car is in. Green flag on the speedway again. Decent restart looks like from Sphere. Looks like he is going to clear Davis. Is Mersdorf going to be able to get around Davis? He's trying it on the high side. Mersdorf's actually stayed on track for a lap. Mersdorf fighting hard. He wants to get around this lap car to give himself a chance at the leader. And now McComas dives for the pits, checks up right in front of the field, backs everybody off the back of this battle. Mersdorf gets clear, gets to the bottom. Mersdorf, inside 20 to go. Got to see what he can do here. Still just 5 cars out of the race. Trying to close in, but we're running out of laps. Gap is closing, but not very quickly. I don't think it closed that lap. I think it opened up. Yep, Gap came way up that lap. Sphere just trying to stay settled, see if he can get a victory here. Diggs trying to move up another spot. He's on Weston's bumper here. Will Sphere catch any traffic here in the last 11 laps is a question to look out for. Know that he will. 10 to go. Maybe he will. We'll be right at the end if he does. Gap staying just inside a second. Diggs trying to get a move here. Just trying to secure this championship. Yeah, I think we got 5 to go. We might just catch Ronaldo Scott right before the end. The gap at the front is closing just a little bit, down to about half a second. Gap closing some more. Running out of laps though. Only going to get like 1 chance at this. Not a huge change that lap. It's going to be 2 to go at the line here. So we're going to catch Ronaldo like lap and a half to go. No appreciable change in the gap, but we've caught the traffic. That's got him checked up, but he's gotten to the inside here. White flag at the line. He gets clear. Mersdorf's clear. It's going to be one chance here into 3 and 4. I don't think Mersdorf's close enough to do anything about it, though. Final time through 3 and 4. Genosphere looking for the checkered flag. And Genosphere is going to win from Tri County. Mersdorf going to come home second. Weston's going to hold off Diggs. Stephen Lowe going to get himself a top 5. Then we've got Scott Drake, Mulder, Hill, Fitzmaurice, a good top 10. Batcher a lap down. Adam Beresford brings it home. In 10th, and John Cheeseman, Bobby Farrell, Dwight York, Nate Moorhead, Nazalmo Hawkins, Stephen Davis, Joe Polson, Tommy Davis, Gene Stapleton, Brandon Rains, Ronaldo Scott, Ron Stout, Bev Fresh, Bear McComas, Steve Inkman, out of the race, Brian Lowe, JT Armstrong, Phillips, Painter, and Sheldrick are your DNFs. Let us see what that has done to our point standings and figure out who is mathematically eliminated with 2 races remaining. Might help if I open the right points program. That's not worrisome at all. Okay. RPM had some weird error when I opened it. When I opened it the second time, it was fine. But there was a moment of panic that I just lost all of the points for the season. Good news, we did not lose all the points for the season. Okay. Gotta look at the heats. Figure out which one was the quick heat. Oh, heat 2 was way quicker. So that's the one where additional points will come from. So Kevin, you get some points. these points uploaded now that they're done. I wanted that on the floor. Alright, sorry about that. Let's take a look and see what the standings look like after 34 events. Diggs leads by 168 points with 2 races left. That leaves everybody except Tommy Davis is now mathematically eliminated, unless Diggs picks up a penalty. And even then, it's looking unlikely that anybody else can do anything. Carroll lost the spot to Painter, who moves into 5th. Weston picks up 4. Tonto drops, and Daniels drop. Whitman dropped 3. Cheeseman, Davis, and Vatcher all went by Mogard, who dropped 3. No changes at the back half of the top 20 here. Polson holds on to it, but Gunk lost some ground there. Stapleton passes Ramaswamy. Hill goes by Jackson and Torgerson. Sheldrick and McComas both pass Spark. Hawkins went by Shadle. And Ronaldo Scott's passing people that aren't racing full season. We will see you next week for Pikes Peak.